Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 68th episode of That Sewing Blab. Thank you all to all you beautiful people who decided to join in for some fun tonight. We have this lovely, lovely guest you see here in the middle. But before we get to her, as usual, you know how we do it here. We have to get the housekeeping out of the way first. So all you newbies, my name is Myra from Simple Inspiration, and our lovely co-host way over there on the other side is Dawn from Duelling Designs. Now, if you have any questions for us, so we don't miss them, please don't put them in the comments. Just scroll down below where you see the section that says questions and answers. Put your questions down there and we'll be sure to get to them. So without further ado, we're going to pass it on over to Dawn so she can introduce our beautiful guest for tonight. And I am excited.
We definitely are. We've been looking forward to having Melanie on for quite a while. So much so that we've actually had requests. I love it when our audience makes requests. And the fabulous Faye from Faye's Sewing Adventure, gave me a quick message and said, hello, we want Melanie. And so yes, we asked her on. We're thrilled that Melanie can join us. She is a completely creative, crafty, not just sewing, crafty young lady who makes beautiful clothing. And I don't know, you just have to see her smile and you know that something good's coming. She is just a ray of sunshine in the sewing world, quite frankly. So thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here. Very glad. Thank you all.
Cool. Well, we're ready to get started. I guess I can toss it up. The first question. Usually what we usually do is we ask our guest, Melanie, when and why did they start sewing? But I know that you have sewing in your blood. I mean, your mom, both grandmothers, your sister, there's not just sewing and seamstresses, there's crafting and jewelry making. It's truly in your blood. So I'm just going to say, I know that you started sewing like most of us with your sewing with baby doll clothes. But can you tell me, with all of that sewing around you, have you had any professional training?
None whatsoever. None at all.
So you're all self-taught?
All self-taught.
Oh my gosh. Well, what inspired, I know you started young with baby doll clothes, but was it just your family that inspired you to sew and keep you sewing?
Well, having so many people in my family that sewed, both my grandmothers, one grandmother, she actually sewed, she was a professional seamstress, so she was a seamstress for hire. Wow. And having a great aunt who was an amazing seamstress. Anything from lingerie to wedding gowns, and just being around them. At a very early age, we were, me and my sister, my older sister and I, were almost forced to quilt. We had no choice. That was one of our summer things. We had to knit and cut blocks and hand. We actually started hand sewing. And then my great aunt introduced us to the treadle machine.
Wow.
Started sewing on a treadle. And my sister kind of got away from it very early. As soon as she could get away, she was like, bye. But I kind of hung in there. And then I went into the military, so I got away from it for a little while. And then I started up again. And it's just my passion. I can't go a day without thinking or doing something sewing related.
Oh my gosh. Well, it shows in your work too, because as folks are going to find out. I'm sorry?
I said, thank you. That means a lot.
Well, I tell you, as we get more into this interview, folks are going to see that, you are a force to be reckoned with when it comes to sewing. Oh my gosh. And I just have another question here. I know that you started blogging around the same time that I did in 2010, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to start the blog though?
Accountability. I was just playing around on the internet one day and I came across Mimi G's blog. It's like so many of us. And she just blew me away. She was sewing, she was making beautiful things, still is. And I was just very inspired by what she was doing. I had no idea what a sewing blog was. And so I just started clicking around and just started finding all these sewing blogs. I had no idea that was out there. So many beautiful sewers. women that were sewing. And so I was like, wow, I do that. So I kind of started back with bags. I wasn't really excited about sewing apparel. So I started making leather purses. And I'm one of those people that kind of bored kind of easy. So I got kind of bored with that, and I kind of got away from that and just picked up apparel sewing again, just for myself. Didn't want to sew for anybody else. And I started finding bloggers to follow and seeing what they were doing, and that's pretty much my inspiration. No one person besides me. Seeing Mimi's blog is what was like, whoa. Yeah. And then clicking around and seeing that there was others out there that were doing amazing work, and I was like, hey, I can do that.
Wow. Yeah, I remember back then with some of those leather purses of yours. Wow. It's just amazing.
I still have one that I carry a lot.
Really? Wow. That's amazing. It truly is. Now, we have to get into it and bring this up because this freaking amazed me. I mean, I cannot believe it. But if you see me look down, I'm just looking at because I can't believe my notes here. You created approximately 18 outfits in the last couple of months. That's not including what you possibly may have not shown us that you made for yourself. Now, in addition,
I got quite a lot that I have that are others as well.
Yeah, there they are. And I can't believe this. And, to me, it's like, how in the heck you had to do all of this and you're a full-time employee in the legal field. So I know you're extremely busy and you have a husband at home. Yes. Please tell us how do you manage?
Supportive.
He's super. Yes. Well, he has to be in order for you to do something like this. But how do you manage? Can you tell us how do you manage, a full-time job and your husband at home and be able to create 18 outfits or more in 2 months' time?
I think, like I said, I pretty much do something sewing related daily, even if it's cut out a pattern or maybe just prep. Prep on Sundays. Sundays started out being my get organized for the week sewing, where my projects for the week, I would say, okay, on Monday I'm gonna do this. On Tuesday I'm gonna do this. But I kind of can't stick to it sometimes. A lot of times I don't stick to it. But what I do is I have a project deadline, and I give each project dedicated 3 days. I know it takes me about 3 days and I cut off all sewing. I do nothing after 11:30. No more sewing after 11:30. It's get myself ready for my work the next day. And I do not do. I try to do all consultations with clients, phone. Pattern hunting, fabric. I try to do that on Tuesday nights. Tuesday evenings are my days. And Saturday is usually my shopping day. Fabric only in the morning. My afternoon, I like to be done with any fabric shopping that I have. So I try to stay on the schedule. I don't always push my phone. Kind of got it. But I don't always stay on that schedule. But I try to. Pretty much sew every day.
Wow. We have that echo back again for some reason. Can you hear that, Dawn? Yeah, we're having an echo again. I'm not sure why. But let me ask you, Melanie, with all of that, do you ever get in a slump?
I'm sorry, kind of cut out.
Do you ever find yourself in a sewing slump?
Oh, yes. Actually, I have 2 weeks coming up that I'm not going to. Unless it's something I'll make quick client sewing, and I'll do that from time to time. I just take the whole week of nothing. I'm not nowhere near the room, and I just shut it down because I know once I get burnt out, it's kind of hard for me to get back in a rhythm. So I pretty much shut it down when I start feeling myself burning.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. That's awesome. Oh, well, it looks like that's it.
I think it's quite a good strategy that you have for time management, Melanie. Like you sit down and you plan ahead, but then, like you said, that there's life happens, stuff happens, some things take longer, less. but you're also super flexible, and you can tell you're relaxed about it. So, I mean, it must be a good working environment. It's no wonder that you're so productive when you know, like you do plan, but if you veer off, you know, you're good with it. You're calm. You move on. So it sounds like a solid strategy.
Absolutely. Now going back to the website, Dawn, her blog, that some of those outfits, I mean, they were all so amazing. But the white two-piece, I believe, pink, right? Nope, right there. Yeah, I love that. Do you remember what pattern you used for that?
I'd have to look on my. I try to list the patterns that I use on my Instagram, so that and it's a pretty new pattern. Just one moment, let's see.
Yeah, and that navy taffeta.
I made that with one of my clients. Let's see, it's Butter 6450.
Wow, that's beautiful. 440. Yeah, that and that navy taffeta. I think it's a taffeta dress. That's gorgeous.
Yes, that is. Actually, that's I use satin.
Oh, satin. That's really pretty.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was gorgeous too.
Yes, that was a good friend of mine. She sent me that picture. She said, "I have to have this for a tour going on." And I literally mulled over it for like 3 days. I just stared at it 3 days. And I was like, oh, wow. And then all of a sudden, the patterns hat came to mind, and I just started.
You did an awesome job.
Thank you.
Awesome job. Okay. Let's see. Ask get your inspirations other than like sewing for a client. The clients will contact you, but where do you do your sewing for yourself?
I'm getting a lag, so I'm not really hearing you, Myra.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Usually it's not that bad. Okay. Yes. Other than your clients, we know your clients bring their ideas to you that they want, but where do you find inspiration for yourself?
I kind of have an idea of what works for me. I kind of got into the rut of sewing what everybody else was sewing. You know, you go on the blogs or you see on Instagram and everybody's doing the same pattern or the same style. Yes. And so I felt like I was getting away from who Melanie really was. And I'm kind of I'm not really I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. I'm not like a flashy. I'm kind of all over the place, and I just kind of like what I like. So I know me. So I started getting back into sewing Melanie, and that's what my style features came in, where I started doing my style. Because I felt like I was making or doing what everybody else was doing, and it wasn't really me. So I think my style is kind of just cool and comfy, you know, being a Florida girl, Myra.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I like the flowy wide-legged pants. I like the fitted and flared skirts, dresses and skirts. I'm not real like super fancy. I don't think I am anyway. So yeah, I think I'm pretty simple, I guess.
Yeah, we have a lot of similar tastes in our clothes because
I noticed that.
Because I look back at your stuff, I said, oh, I think I have that fabric. I think I made something like that.
Trust me, I stay on your page as well. I'm what you're making, so.
Yeah, and I've been bad. I have been really, really bad, but social media has grabbed me by the bootstraps, and I'm fighting to get it away from me right now. But I'm going to get back on there real soon because I miss it. It's a passion for me too. Now you have to tell us, because I don't think I've saw that anywhere from you, but what are your favorite fabric resources?
I am not really loyal. I'm all over the place. I order from Mood Fabric. I order from I order a lot from Fabric Wholesale Direct. For some reason, their what I'm trying to say, special occasion fabrics are really nice. Fabric let's see, lately I've been getting fabric from the sewing studio. There is a small, well, I shouldn't say small because it's actually grown quite a lot. There's a sewing studio here in Maitland, Florida. It's about 15, 20 minutes away from me, and they have a lovely selection of fabric. So I spend a lot of time in there, but every now and then I get lucky with Joann's too. Sometimes I get frustrated because my Joann's is not as stocked as a lot of Joann's that I've been in. There's one in Sanford, Florida that's a little bit bigger than the one that's close to my home. But I'm all over the place with fabric. I have a shop on Etsy where I order. I can't tell you the name right off my head, but I'll get it and I'll share it with everyone. But I have a shop on Etsy where I got, actually this fabric here was on this vintage dress that I made behind me.
Which is beautiful.
From the online store that I get fabric, and it's a rayon chalice. It just flows, kind of hard to see it, but it flows beautifully. It has a beautiful hand to it.
I love that. I truly love that. It's so pretty. I love the fabric. I love the drape. Now, is that for you?
That's Helen back there.
Oh, okay. Is that for you?
Yeah.
Melanie, is that for you?
Yes, it is for me.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see
I'll
you.
make something, then I won't post it for like 3 months.
Well, I want to see that one before the summer is over.
I promise.
Yeah, because that's beautiful. And I asked, well, I was over, it's been a while since I've been over in your area. And oh my gosh, I can't remember. I think my husband and I were over there sometime last year, and I can't remember for what. But I didn't think that there was any other place. And now you tell me that there is a fabric store in Maitland.
It's called the Sewing Studio. And I've been going there since a little girl. Actually, my grandmother used to take us there to pick out our fabric for our Easter dresses.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm
gonna have to make a trip over there for that.
Yes. And we'll have lunch.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Definitely.
Okay.
So I was just going to say, you were talking about sewing for clients, and we've seen lots of the gorgeous things you've made. I was wondering if you can give anyone advice, maybe somebody who hasn't been selling to clients, who've just sewn for themselves, who are thinking about starting.
I think the biggest advice is to talk to your clients, to explain to them, especially new clients that have never had custom items made before, because I don't think a lot of people know what go into custom sewing. They don't have, they think we sit down and sew up 2 sides and, like they can run into Ross and buy, Ross dress for less. And it's so much more work. And so when I have a consultation with a client, I explain to them, the work that I put into it, and that this garment is being made to custom fit them, that I'm taking the list of measurements that I have from head all the way down to toe. And I'm making that garment to fit you like a glove, to fit you and only you. You didn't go in the store and get that off the rack, medium, large, or small. I made that to fit you. And when you explain to them the time that it takes to do that correctly, it kind of gives them an idea that, I don't want to go through that, or I don't want to pay for that, or maybe I do. So, I think I've been lucky enough to have built a clientele of recurring clients that they just let me have at it. They give me a picture, or they kind of tell me what they want, and they let me be me. They let me go and do. And I find that, there's some clients that you can't make happy. That's life. That's with anything. And there's some clients that's gonna, maybe complain. Usually if they complain, though, I'm pretty much done with them at that point, because you either understand it and the process, or you don't. And if they don't, I don't have much time to haggle. So, I'd love to tell people that I wish it was as easy as they think it is, but it's not. I don't allow my clients to, well, I'm lying, I got a couple, but I don't like to say that, to buy fabric. To buy fabric. Once you start training them on the process, they kind of know how to come at you. I have a couple clients that have walked up and brought me, you know, canvas fabric for a flowy dress, and I'm like, no, I can't use that. But in the past, I have, you know, been kind of, well, let's see, but no, not anymore. I'm like, nope, can't use it. Sorry, you wasted your money. Maybe I could make you a pillow, outdoor pillow or something, because that's not going to be. So, and that's pretty much, I think the biggest thing that advice I'd give to anybody would have an ironclad contract. List all of your terms in your contract. Meet your expectations. If you see an item that you know that you may not be able to give that client that look, be honest with them about it. Say, hey, I am a seamstress. When you give me a picture, I get as close as possible. I will never be able to do exactly what that designer did, because that's that designer's product. Right. They may have a method that I'm not familiar with, or that I don't know because I didn't make that. Like, for instance, I made a linen outfit once, and I didn't realize the complete outfit was made on the bias. So of course I made it going along the grain, and it didn't fall like the outfit that the client gave me. But I wasn't aware just by looking at it, or I didn't really pay attention to see that it was until after it was all made and it wasn't falling the way, it wasn't as flowy. I was like, but it looks mine look huge and theirs look more, you know, and I was like, I measured everything, I did, but I didn't do what that designer did. Right. And sometimes you just don't know. You don't know that process. You don't know what it took to make that outfit. So sometimes you can't get it. You can't hit it on the mark. And I tell people all the time, I get as close as possible. And I don't, because you don't want, you know, to tell people I can make that. And then there's something that is just not, or for them, maybe you may need to put a dart where it may not be a dart in that outfit, or you may have to adjust something to get that item to fit them. So that's the thing. I said, just always communicate with your clients. Take awesome measurements. I mean, measure once, measure twice, measure 3 times. Take more measurements than you need. That is such a big help with me. And I know they're standing there like, why does she need to go from nipple to nipple? What she need that for? You know, it will, just like a puzzle, it will eventually come together.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and we will get to that, but I just noticed that someone put a question in the comments. I just want to remind everyone that's watching the show, if you have questions, please put them down in the questions and answer section below. Just scroll down and put them there so we won't miss them. But Melanie, I want to ask you, Melanie, I can't believe I said Melody. Melanie.
I call Melody all the time.
I want to ask you and I wonder if this is going to be hard for you. What's your favorite all-time project?
You know, honestly, my favorite all-time project was an African outfit for my mom.
Oh, wow. Is that something you made recently?
Yes, it's I made it this past, I think, February. Let's see. I made it for my mom. She wanted a peplum top with a pair of pants. And I don't sew a lot for my mom. She's a little tiny something, and you're always too busy to sew for me. That's our thing. And so she asked me to make her something to wear for African History Month for church. And she wanted a peplum top with a matching pair of pants. And I said, yes, ma'am. And I enjoyed making that so much. It fit her to a T. She was so happy with it, the smile on her face. And it was like, I was like, yeah, that's my most favorite thing that I've done.
Oh, see, that was easy. That was the easy one. I'm glad that was the easy one. And
I mean, I'll do anything in the world to make my mom happy. So that that was awesome for me.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, by that same, do you have any garment or anything that you created that you looked at and you just said, what the heck was I thinking? Or I wanted.
I have a bucket full.
Oh.
I have it's in my bedroom, and and I can kind of tell as I'm getting close to it if it's not gonna work, and I don't even try to finish. I just toss it, and maybe I'll go back later if I think about it. If not, I'll go steal a zipper out of it or some buttons or something, you know. But I when it start going south, I don't even bother to try to finish it and salvage it. And like I think we were talking earlier about Goodwill, I was looking at one of the sewing blabs earlier. I can't remember if it was Britt JJ or Brittany. One of the ladies said that they give things to Goodwill.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I have given so many of my not so cute things to Goodwill. I don't know if they, you know, because I'm like her. I won't put a tag in it if I know I'm not going to keep it for me or sell it to a client. So I just kind of right over my head. Goodwill or the Veterans of America or somebody. It ends up in a pile.
Well, you know what they say sometimes about one man's trash is another man's treasure. So
exactly.
You never know.
So you went
walking around with that big green.
That's too funny. Okay, is there any aspect of sewing that you find most challenging to you?
Always working with silky fabrics. I do almost daily. I've learned to. I don't like it, but I've learned to deal with it. I just do not like chiffon at all. I've made myself several chiffon things, but I just do not like sewing it. There's nothing fun about it. I do not like hemming circle skirts. I don't have to use every method in the book. I have bought feet for my sewing machine that was supposed to help with that. I've watched every video, read every book, and I still have not mastered hemming a circle skirt.
Wow.
I get away with it. It looks decent to me. Clients never complain about it, but that's one of the things I would love to master is hemming circles.
Circle skirts, huh?
Sometimes, and it just doesn't. I'm just not pleased with them. Yeah.
And that's not something, you know, I can't offer anything on that because that's something that I've actually not done a lot of circle skirts. I've seen there's been a whole. I'm like Melanie says she is. I have a certain style and comfort for myself. And every now and then, not often, I'll get wrapped up. Actually, this year, I probably got wrapped up more because I'm part of the groups of sewing what everybody else was sewing than I ever have. And but I have a certain style for me, and it has to fit in that style. Otherwise, I'm not going to wear it. So circle skirts is not something that I say I don't like because that's not something. I'm not going to say I don't like it. It's just something I've not made a lot of for myself.
Exactly. I got maybe two that I've made for me, but I'm not big on them as well.
Yeah, so it may change, but for right now, I've just not made a lot of them. But I see some gorgeous. Actually, I don't know if you consider that a circle skirt, Melanie. I saw a beautiful camouflage skirt on your blog. It was.
It's a gathered skirt. It's not a circle skirt. It's actually gathered. It's panels that I gathered. But I think I made a circle skirt recently. Oh, that I haven't even posted. I think she picked it up so fast I didn't even get a chance to. I made it one day and I think she picked it up the next. So
yeah, I like that. That's beautiful.
That's actually a gathered skirt.
Now I would actually wear that. I'm sorry, I was reading a comment. I would actually wear that. That's gorgeous. I just looking at that in that second, I was thinking about what kind of tops I could wear with it.
So right now you're working on a lot of wedding dresses. You mentioned earlier in the green room when we were chatting. I was thinking about, some people, they might be doing some, like garments for clients, but going from, a circle skirt or a cotton dress to a wedding dress is actually quite a big jump with the different fabrics, laces, embellishments, sometimes the structure that is needed for underneath. And I was wondering, do you have any recommendations for people who are thinking about trying something, a bit more advanced?
Read, watch videos, learn. I remember when I was first tasked to make my first, to take a zipper out of a wedding dress and make a corset in the back. I was frightened. I was like, holy crap, me? And it came out beautifully.
Wow.
I took my time. I watched videos. I dreamed about it. I read books, and I shouldn't say so simple, because nothing about a wedding dress is simple, but it is not as difficult in my mind that I thought it would be. I thought I was going to take this woman's dress apart and not be able to put it back together, and it was just going to be a hot mess, and she was going to be crying on her wedding day, and this life was going to be her, and she was going to put out there in the hemisphere that I was the worst person ever. And it said, if it's something you're interested in, because I had no interest in doing wedding work at first, and I absolutely love it. If it's something you're interested in, just work at it, learn. If I'm flying, I'm on vacation, or we're going somewhere, I'm sitting there with a sewing book. I'm reading, I'm on blogs, I'm learning. I go to all the wedding blogs, all the alteration blogs, and I'm just reading and learning. And I just love to watch videos and see the process. And wedding work is beautiful. The outcome is absolutely beautiful. I don't really care for beading too much, because that could actually be a real disaster, a real nightmare. But I'm getting it. It's coming together. I'm enjoying it.
You do it.
Do you do alterations as well, or just gowns from scratch?
Actually, I have a pretty high pile of alterations that's due this week. So I have some men's zippers to replace in a couple of pair of men's pants. I have some ripped seams I have to put together and things like that. I like puzzles. I'm a puzzle person. So fixing things, it's like a puzzle to me. I'm gonna make it work. There's a way to make it work.
Good on you, Melanie. I abhor alterations. Someone comes and they're like, "Oh, I got this wedding dress for $70 on eBay," and yes, it's strapless and it has those ties in the back. So yes, it technically does go on you, but it does not fit you. If
now that
you have to add a whole bunch of ties to the ties to get it to close. But sometimes people don't quite get that, and if it's a family member and they want you to do it.
That's very upfront and honest. If I see that I can't get the outcome you're looking for, I won't even try it. And there's not any amount of money that you could give me to convince me to put myself or you in that position. So I just don't. And that comes with time and learning, because in the past I have taken on jobs that I knew I should have never, that I shouldn't have done. I should have just said no, but I'm thinking, oh, I can do this. And then when they leave, I'm like in fear. And I'm not sleeping, and I'm thinking about it all day at work. And so, I've learned that I'm going to do what I want to do. I love doing this, but if it's not something that makes me happy or bring me joy, or something that I think could bring you joy, I'm not going to do it. I'll just say no.
Wow. So is your business word of mouth? Do you advertise? Besides
Instagram and, being on Facebook, no, I don't. A lot of my clients are referral based. And I kind of like it that way, because my clients know me. So they won't really send me, anyone who I probably don't want to work with.
Yeah, exactly.
High maintenance.
Exactly. So, and like I said, I got a really good rapport with my clients. A lot of my clients are older, and I like that, in that they're honoring and they know what they want, but you can also like, hey, this is what's gonna work. And they kind of like, okay, you know, and their styles are, you know, they like, my clients kind of like the ruffles and stuff, you know, and so I get to play around a lot. So I like that. And they just let me go off into la la land and do things.
Oh, that's nice. That is truly really nice. Now, I know we're getting down in our time, and I know there were a few questions out there, but I have to ask this question before Dawn gets me. Printed or PDF?
Oh, definitely printed. I can't stand PDF. I use them. A lot of my Berta are PDFs, but
you're definitely a printed.
If I have to sit down and tape it up, it just kills the thrill for me. It's just like, I don't mind cutting them out, but I do not want to sit and match A to B and B to C.
But I thought you were a puzzle person.
For some reason, that just brings me no joy at all. Now I can sit down and make my own pattern. I love to do that. I love to draft my own patterns. Yeah. I have quite a few that I drafted this past week for some things I want to make for my vacation coming up. But no, I don't like the printed patterns at all.
Yeah. Okay. So we got one person printed.
Out of control.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Melanie.
My pattern collection is out of control.
I bet. And you answered one of the questions I was going to ask you too, because you make a lot of clothes and you made all those clothes for clients. So I know you make a lot of clothes for yourself. And I was going to ask, do you keep all those? Do you have like 4 closets?
I keep every pattern. Some patterns I have 3 or 4 of them. When I cut a pattern out, I don't cut it out to size. I just cut the pattern out and then I clip it down to size. So I'll if it's 10, 12, 14, and 16, I'll just clip all the way around, make little clippings, and then I'll fold the pattern to that size. So I just use it over and over again. And once I take them out of the pattern envelope, I fold them up neatly and I put them in a Ziploc bag, and I put the envelope in the Ziploc bag, and I keep it like that so it doesn't get all crunchy and balled up. But patterns, except for my vintage patterns, I get them on sale. So sometimes if I know it's a pattern that I can manipulate and use as maybe use it as a block, I'll buy 2 or 3 of them. I have some patterns that I have 3 and 4 of them.
Oh.
Over and over and over. Yeah. I mean, I have them that they actually look like a cat just said. Taping them together and cutting them, and so yeah. And I do a lot of FBAs, a lot of full bust adjustments. So I butcher patterns. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So should we get to the questions down there before we run out of time, Dawn?
I had one quick question. It's just recently I saw something by, I don't know, Anita by Design. She had put something on, I think it was Facebook and her blog and stuff. And then a company had actually pilfered the photo.
Yes, I saw that.
And said they were selling that. So I was wondering, do you ever think of anything like that when you put your stuff up? Like, do you think about watermarking, or you think, I'm so stylish, probably like Anita, she's probably thinking the same thing. I'm so stylish, I've already made that, I'm on to the next thing. Like, where do you sit on that kind of issue?
Well, I don't, it hasn't happened to me that I know of. Nobody has brought it to my attention. I do watermark, but if one, especially companies like Link, like that one that use, they just go and snatch a picture. I'm gonna say literally snatch a picture off the internet where they find it. And I think it's kind of hard to regulate that. So I don't think it will bother me. And I'm saying I don't think because it hasn't happened to me. So maybe if it happened to me, I might think differently. But I don't think it'll bother me. I guess I'm not trying to do what they do. So if they sell that design, and to me, fashion is not owned by anybody. I guess is the way. I guess it's
very fluid.
Yeah, it's just. and I think, you know, sometimes we especially as seamstresses, we get a little trying to pick the word.
Precious.
Yeah, that
Say that again, Dawn.
exactly. But I mean, fashion is just like we were taught. Me and my mom talking recently about bell sleeves. They come and go like every 2 or 3 years. They're gonna go away again, and then they'll be back. There's no trademark, or there's no designer that is the bell sleeve designer. You know what I mean? They're everywhere. You can't get around it. So, I mean, if they stole a picture of mine and cut my head off, I think I'll be all right. I know it's me. I was like, yeah, them my big ankles. I know my big ankles. So yeah, probably wouldn't bother me. I don't know. It hasn't happened to me yet. So.
You'd be on to the next fabulously stylish thing anyway. They'd be in your dust.
But Anita does such beautiful work. I love her.
She does, doesn't she? Well, it was funny because I actually saw that post, and I was one of the people that got infuriated by it, and I posted it on my.
I saw it, Myra. I was like, yeah, Myra, yeah.
But you know, I thought about it after talking with Anita, who is now on vacation with her gorgeous husband. But when she was so eloquent about it, she was upset, but you know, it happens. And it made me think that happened before to someone else that I know of. And she went to them and she told them to how does she say, how does that go? To stop and to cease and desist? Yes. And because
Sherry of My Daily Threads, I think it happened to Sherry before. It's quite a few of them that I know that has happened to before. And I know for a fact Sherry, and you know, Sherry wasn't going for it. Sherry was like, hey. And so
and Danielle,
you know, if you work hard on something and somebody else is trying to take credit for your work, that is awful.
Well, with this person, that was Daniela Taubois. We had her on here. She's a designer, so she was upset because they were literally taking her designs.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's totally different. When they're actually something you design, something that is your creativity from your head, that, you know, that's a lot of work goes into creating and designing and making something your own for somebody to come along and take away and to take credit for your hard work. That's awful.
Yeah, but it was a good question, Dawn, because, you know, with all this that's just happened recently, it made me think we have so much out there. And I'm like, Melanie said, you know, I'm not the owner of some of this. I do design some of my things, but like she said, once it's out there, I've done it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So knock yourself out.
Well, we better get to the next the questions from our audience. Thank you very much. I was very curious to hear what you said. And yes, awesome. Okay, so our first question is from Diane Fedders. How do you balance working a full-time job and sewing with so many lovely items? And we kind of touched on it before, but if you could maybe summarize it.
Just organize. Pick certain days to do certain things, and don't try to do everything in one day. Like I said, I give every project 3 days. It takes me 3 days to finish from start to finish. I don't care how big or small it is. I give myself 3 days. Sometimes I finish in 1 day, some day in 2, but in my mind, I always give it 3 days. And I tell my clients that they have 7 to 14 days for delivering. And so that just gives me the time to, if I have a bad day, a headache, and I can't hem today, I know I got tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, and then I think she may have touched on that one too, but it says, Melanie, what is your advice on sewing silk? Isn't it something that?
Actually, I use paper. I love to use wrapping paper. I just go to the dollar store and buy it up. You know, wrapping paper that you would use in a present, and I lay that. Some people say I have had people tell me to do it several different ways, but what really works for me is I actually encase it like a sandwich. If I'm going to sew 2 pieces of together, I actually put the paper on the bottom and the top, and then I just run it, and it works. You just tear it off. And if you have a little bit left under your under your thread. You just pick it out with some tweezers, and that works really well with me. I don't get that slippage or where the fabric tends to warp away from each other, and then you get the uneven seams.
Wow. Huh. Good tip. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it was, I learned it on one of Gertie's. I think, I could be wrong, on one of Gertie's page sewing pages. Someone else was suggesting that, and I learned that, and I've been using it ever since, and it works really well for me. And, you know, some things work for some people. Like, I've been given, you know, advice on certain techniques and stuff that may not work for me. It works for others, but not me. But that's a really good one. That works really good.
It's awesome.
And Linda Faye Lewis, Faye from Faye Sewing Adventures. What, if anything, is most difficult in sewing? Technique, fabric, garment type? She didn't specify.
Most difficult for me, I would have to say, is collar stands. I try to avoid them at all costs. I'm still perfecting my method. The last collar stand I did, it came out pretty good. I was pretty impressed with it, but it's still not 100% as far as I'm concerned. So I would say my most difficult thing to sew is a collar stand, and I don't particularly care for buttonholes, but I will do them. I have a sewing machine that's, you know, you touch a button and it makes a buttonhole. But for some reason, I don't know, I still seem to not space them correctly sometime, or I don't know. It's nothing in sewing that I totally dislike. I just have little techniques that if I don't, you know, I don't particularly, if I had to make it for myself, I'm skipping that collar stand. If it's for the client, I'm going to work it out. I'm going to make it beautiful because I want them to have a beautiful garment. But yeah, I think that's my and like I said before earlier with the circles, hemming circle skirts and chiffon. I don't like working with chiffon at all. I just find it very aggravating.
Okay. And then we have a question from Kendra. She said, will you ever consider hiring an assistant? Not
Kendra, no. Kendra is my cousin, and she's one of my aggravating. Every day. Maybe one day, Kendra. I did have an assistant before that was cutting patterns for me, and I think I burnt her out. So I don't know.
Wow.
So we'll see. Maybe one day.
Okay. Well, the next one is from Pam. Thanks for asking the question, Pam. Do you pick a pattern first and then find the fabric, or find the fabric then pick a pattern?
There is no method to my madness. Or if I like something, if I'm going through a magazine or I see somebody walking in the store and I like it, I'll sneak and take a picture of them, or I'll try to remember it and just come home and see if I have a pattern for it, or see if I have so much fabric and so many patterns. Now I do have about 15 projects that I would like to get done where I have paired them already with a pattern, but I do that and it just it just never happens. I have good intentions, but yeah, it just never happens. So no, I don't pick a pattern first or a fabric first. It just kind of just happens for me. If something I want to make, I just make it.
Okay. All right. And we have another question from our lovely Miss Linda Faye Lewis. She says, what sewing books would you suggest?
I'm going to run and go get my two favorites. So hold
on. The question after that is also about books.
I just noticed that.
What are her top three? So she's grabbing two. So then, and that was by.
Yeah, she is. So this is such a
Farhana Secret Garden Studio. So yes, both, hopefully two questions in one go.
Yes, she is such a lovely person. This has been a really great interview, and I am so happy I got a chance to talk with her. Been wanting to do this for some time.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, fast fit, easy pattern, alterations for every figure. Ah.
This is a Bible. This is awesome. I have read it. And it's not just for alterations. It's also for, it's very heavily illustrated. Might be able, can you see?
Yes.
I don't know if you can see like this for setting in sleeves.
Oh yeah.
Very illustrated. And I mean, the way I was setting in sleeves was tedious and difficult. And I used to cry because I couldn't get the puckers sometime out of them. And I take it out and I do it again and I take it out. And just, I learned the method that works so good for me with setting in sleeves. I mean.
Now, who's the author of that book?
The author of this book is Sandra Benzina.
Okay.
I don't know. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And it's an older book. It's from, where's it from? It's pretty old. But her techniques, like for me with pants fitting, I was very awful at pants fitting. She teaches you the correct way to measure the body. I wasn't doing that correctly as well. And there were certain measurements that I was missing. And even with just how to preserve your patterns, stabilizing your patterns, and it's just problem areas for fit. It's just awesome. This is awesome. And this book was actually gifted to me.
Wow. Oh, I think, do I have that one? No, I don't have that one.
It's part of a series.
That's cool.
A good series. It's a good series.
It was gifted to me from Latoria Bowling. And Latoria is a very good friend of mine. We met in one of our sewing groups, and actually she's come to visit me on her birthday 2 years in a row. She comes and stays the weekend with me, and we go out and have dinner and have a good time. And she gifted me this book, and I love it. I have read it several times. I have several others. They're like everywhere, so I don't know where they are, because sometimes they're under my bed. I just sit down in bed sometime and I read them at night. But those are my two favorite sewing books. I live on Threads online. I love Threads. And oh my God, there's just so many different resources. If you want to sew and if you want to sew well, there are so many different resources out there. It really is. And it just practice, time and practice.
I agree. I so agree with you on that so much. Looks like that person. Okay.
It kind of leads into a question about, how to teach yourself and learning. Elizabeth says, Melanie, at what point in your sewing experience did you feel comfortable sewing for others?
Good question.
At what point? I think I was getting so many compliments on the things that I was making for myself. Sometimes people wouldn't even believe that I made it. They would want to turn it on the inside out and then they'll see that it was serge, and they're like, well, how did you do that? And I explained to them, well, I have, several sergers. I serge. I have these machines. There are machines that do that. And they were like, you didn't make that. And then so I started very small. I would only make little simple things like, 2 seam dresses, a sash and stuff. I wouldn't do anything big or anything. And just over time, I just began to get bolder. I can do that. That's not hard. And so just with time. And I used to sew a whole bunch for myself when I was in Germany. I was very thin then, and it was hard to find clothes for myself. I wore a size 2 back then. Yeah, I did at one time. And it was just hard to find clothes. And so I started making my clothes, and people would like stuff, and they'd be like, can I have that? And so in my mind, I kind of felt like, well, I made something that somebody wanted. So I must be, I must be okay. My work must be okay. And so, but I went through a time where I stopped sewing for others for a very long time, just because it had gotten aggravating. So it just depends on where I'm at in my life.
Do you sew for your husband?
Absolutely not. And I have no desire to.
Well, I tell you, I did, and after my last piece, I posted it. After that last fiasco that happened, it's going to be a while before I sew for my husband again.
I mend all of his pants. He's and his tops, his uniforms for work. He's a mail carrier, so he wears a uniform, and he'll tear, a sleeve or something carrying his bag, and I'll fix it. But that's
yeah. That's fabulous. Well, we're getting quite close to the end here, and if we check, there's no questions.
Well,
it has.
Pam,
sorry.
Pam said could get lots of practice on collar stands.
Yeah, with menswear. Good point, Pam.
I'll pass.
Very good point, Pam. Well, yeah, it's great to get to meet the woman behind the blog, behind all those fabulous clothes. You truly are, a ray of sunshine, but you're also, I think, like, I didn't realize this, you're a breath of fresh air too, because you're very real, very authentic. Like some people try to cover up things like, oh, I made a couple mistakes, but no, you're like, I've got a bag of them, like you're very honest, like, oh, not so good collar stands. And I think it's fabulous and refreshing. And I can't thank you enough for being so you tonight.
Well, I was honored. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, it was our honor. Oh my goodness. Just to have you. Wonderful. Thank you. And we hope we can have you back too for some of the.
Love to. Just let me know when. I'll be ready.
All right. We're going to hold you back too. Well,
we have a couple community announcements.
Yes.
So I'll put a picture up and Myra can see if I can find it, tell you about this. We mentioned this last week, didn't we, Myra?
Yeah, we did. Okay. We talked a little bit to everyone about our events. We have 2 events a year. We just had our Pin It Sew It event, and now it's time for our second event for the year, which is going to be a Project Runway style event, and it's called So You Think You Can Sew. And this is going to be our first event, because if it's successful, and we think it will be, we're going to bring it back every year. So
awesome.
Dawn and I are going to kick it off, and we're going to be the first 2 contestants, everybody. So we're going to use ourselves as examples. So through these next few days or what have you, you're going to see from us our interview tapes, and you're going to get to see us challenge each other. We have a facilitator. It's all a surprise. We have a facilitator who's going to send us a mystery box, and we're going to have to create something from that mystery box. So it's going to be great, and you guys, I know you're going to love it. But more than that, what we want you to do is, while we're challenging each other, and you all will be the judges as to who wins.
Okay.
The bragging right. But what we want is, we want you guys to watch closely on what we're doing, because we want to pick 4 more contestants, 2 to go head to head with each other, just like Dawn and I are doing. So fun is well, it is competitive. I wasn't going to say it. I was going to say it is competitive, but it's a fun competition. So we're going to kick it off, and we're going to start it so you guys can see exactly what's required to do. And then we'll allow you to send in your tapes, to post your tapes. So stay tuned. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and it's going to be happening very soon. Did I miss anything, Ms. Dawn?
No, not really. Yeah, no, yeah, Myra and I, we just want to set the tone. That's why we decided to go first. We're going to be like challenging each other and hamming it up basically. But in the end, you know, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, we will have prizes at the end, not for Myra and I, obviously. But it's more just for fun, and we really hope you guys will like it. Essentially, each month we have starting from September to December, we have a different like the head-to-head face-off each month, and we'll interview the people because they might be people we've never met before, get to know them better, their blog, their sewing, and then also they'll open up the mystery box that they'll set the tone for the challenge. So we're really looking forward to it. I can't wait to see people sending in their little audition tapes or doing Facebook Lives. That's another way that you can do it, but we'll tell you more about that next week. But essentially, yeah, we just want people to say who they are, why they want to be a contestant, and show us a couple of things they've made. And we are so excited. I just can't wait.
Are you considering?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm always up for a challenge. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, watch out because we're coming with ours soon. And by the way, I told Miss Dawn, my interview tape is ready to go.
All right, cool.
I gotta film mine tomorrow. So
take your time.
Yeah.
So everyone, we didn't want to keep you long. We just wanted to make sure that you knew about the upcoming events. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we really want people to. First off, I want to say, be sure that you want to come on camera if you're going to do this event, because we have to have you on camera to show your wares and to challenge that competition. So make sure that you want to come on camera. So now that we're done, thank you again so very much, Miss Melanie, for coming here. We really appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time. All righty. So is there anything else, Dawn?
Yeah, just a couple of things. We had technical difficulties in last week's show with Sinetta Burnwell of the Mahogany Stylist. She was fabulous. But unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties. So I'm going to close caption that before I stick it on YouTube. So anyone who's waiting for that to go to YouTube, I apologize. It's going to be a little bit longer. I was on a camping trip this weekend, so I didn't get it done. So it will be done. So I apologize. So this show and that show will be a little late getting to YouTube, and we apologize. And the last thing is stay tuned next week as we are interviewing Jessica Lawson from the Hollywood Seamstress.
Wow.
She is a fabulous young lady, and she's worked on the Netflix show Glow most recently. So we are pretty excited.
All righty. So
okay. Yes.
Okay. All righty, everyone. Well, thank you again.
Thank you again.
Everyone, have a wonderful night, and we will see you next Tuesday for That Sewing Blab. Good night, everyone.
Night.